Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Vasquez. If you are new here, make sure to hit that like button, make sure to subscribe, and make sure to turn that notification bell on. Guys, this is a trigger warning. I might say some words in here that might trigger you guys, but don't take offense to it. I'll try to keep that out of there because I know that can be hard for some people. I also wanted to let you guys know that I was supposed to do a interview with Ethan today. He is a self-harm advocate, but we actually did the interview, but the recording got lost on my hard drive, and so we were going to have to re-record next week, so that's why that video has been delayed. Sorry about that, guys, but this week we're going to be doing female to male transgender questions, because a lot of you guys in my group chat on Snapchat y'all had a lot of really good questions, and I didn't add all of them in this video, but most of you guys' questions are in there. And then I had a few people in my Facebook group chat that messaged me and asked me to talk about a few things. So we're going to go ahead and dive right in. If you guys have any other questions, or if you guys want me to go in more in detail about any of these things, just let me know down in the comments, and I can either make a separate video for it, which I know for a fact I'm going to have to do that for a few of these, or I can message you personally and give you, all the details and stuff like that. You guys just let me know. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Okay, so the first question is tape or binding better? In my personal opinion, I think that if you're binding correctly and safely, that binding is the most effective. I never think that you should use duct tape or ace bandages at any cost, any means necessary. I know at the beginning, when I was in high school, I was very dysphoric about my top, and so I used to use ace bandages or wear multiple sports bras, but that is so unhealthy, guys. Just make sure that you guys are being safe. Follow the binding guidelines, and if you are going to tape, please use trans tape, because it'll potentially mess your top up to where you can't even have surgery. Okay, and we'll go more into depth about binding rules and regulations later on in the video if you guys want to know. Okay, so another person asked me if I could show y'all how to put on a binder properly. Yes, I can. I'll insert a link down below, and I'll put a clip right now. Okay, somebody else asked me how to bind properly. So when you're binding, make sure that you're not binding for over 8 hours. You're not sleeping in your binder. Make sure that if you are exercising or swimming, that you get a binder that's made for that, because there are binders out there made for athletics, swimming, rock climbing, stuff like that. Just make sure you're getting the right binder so you can breathe properly. And guys, I know a lot of you guys do this, and you guys need to stop. It's your bodies, do what you want with them, but I see a lot of trans guys, and even people in cosplay and stuff like that, when they're getting a binder, they get a size smaller so their chest will be flatter. Guys, get the size that you're supposed to get. On Underworks and G2B2, the websites, it'll show you measurements, and you can literally measure your chest, and it'll give you the right measurements. Just make sure that you're getting the right thing. You don't want your binder to be too loose to where it's not containing you, but you don't want it to be so tight that you can't breathe or sit up properly. And guys, don't slouch when you're in your binder, because it can mess up the possibility of you getting surgery, if that's something that you want in the future. So another one of you guys asked me, can I be trans and gay? So, here's something that's very controversial, but I really don't think it should be. If you're a trans man, you've always been a man, and if you like men, then you're gay, or you can be bisexual. It's just like a straight man. It's just like, how do I say this? A cis man, a cis man can either be gay, straight, bisexual. It's the same thing with a trans man. Just because you transition doesn't mean you're not a real man. You are a real man, and if you feel like you like other men, then you're gay. Simple as that. Okay. Another one of you guys asked me, if you don't have top surgery or bottom, or if you don't have top or bottom dysphoria, does that mean you're not trans? So, I think that dysphoria is a big part of being transgender. If you don't have some type of dysphoria, then you're probably not trans. But there's more dysphorias other than top and bottom. You can have emotional dysphoria, you can have name dysphoria, you can have pronoun dysphoria. I mean, there's so much that goes into that. You guys just need to realize that you don't have to have everything figured out. Most of my viewers are very young. You guys don't have to have everything figured out. Take your time and learn about yourself and research and figure out what you want. You do not have to label yourself or, put all these things on yourself so young. You guys have a long time to figure it out. And you know what? You don't need to label yourself to be valid, because you are valid. However you feel, you're valid. Anyway, the next question that I had is, do you have to transition to actually be trans? No. If you do not feel the need to transition, you don't have to transition. You can still be a proud trans person, whether that be a woman or a man. So somebody else asked me, can you pump free testosterone? Will it have effects on you? If you guys don't know what pumping is basically where you use a device down below to make things a little bit more efficient. I'll keep it PG because I know most of my viewers are young on here. Some people, they pump pre-transition and it helps a lot with their dysphoria. There has not been any studies that proves that it improves anything after you get surgery. You know that your T-dick does get bigger after testosterone, like 1 to 3 inches, which is, pretty awesome. But, and they say that pumping does help that after testosterone, but I'm not too sure. I can make another video about that if you guys want me to, but I haven't done my research on that yet, so just let me get back to you on that. Another one of you guys asked me, what do I do if I get kicked out when I come out? Well, there's multiple things that you can do. I know in some countries, kids can be taken out of the home, or young adults, because I know most of y'all are like 16, 17. You guys can be removed from the home if you're in an abusive, home or situation. You don't have to stand for that. You can always go somewhere else. If you guys are here in America, we don't really have that here, but what we do have is, we have LGBTQ community centers, which they can place you in a nice, good LGBTQ friendly home. They have resources. They have LGBTQ hotlines, which I'll link down below, where you can get help 24/7 all the time. They also have like group homes for LGBTQ people, and they have group homes especially for trans men and trans women. So, I can link some of those resources down below. I'm not sure about out of the country because I haven't done my research on that, but I can do another video on that if you want me to, or just private message me and I'll talk to you about that. Picking a new name. Picking a new name is, kind of a touchy subject. It took me, 4 years before I decided that I wanted to choose Noah. At first, I told my friends, I said, hey, look, guys, I'm trans, and I want to try names out, so I want you to call me Mason for this week, or for 2 weeks, and see how I like it. And, my sophomore year, most of my friends called me Mason the whole year, and, I vibed with it a lot, but it just didn't connect with me, and so I was like, yeah, I don't like that one. So for a while, I wanted to be called something else. I really don't even remember what it was, but I didn't like it much because I was only using it for like a week. And then I did Noah, and I really liked Noah, and it's just stuck with me ever since junior year. So, picking a name is personal. I would say if you want to pick a new name, just like try out names. Yes, like no one's gonna judge you. Most trans men and most trans women, they experiment with their names because, some names you don't connect with, and some names you really do connect with. So just take your time. This is something that you're gonna have to live with forever. So take your time and love it. Really, really love it. Okay, so how do I respond to people asking me questions about, sex or surgeries or anything like that. And in my opinion, I do not disclose anything to anyone because it's none of their business. The only time I ever, have a conversation like that is in a safe environment with people that I feel safe having those conversations with. If you do not feel safe or you feel like you're being patronized, you do not have to answer a question that you don't want to answer. Be safe out there. I know that the world is changing, but there's still a lot of people out there that have a lot of hate in their hearts. So just be careful who you talk to and what you talk about, because everybody's not okay with it. Okay, so another person asked me, what's a good time to start using my preferred bathroom? Really, guys, when you start transitioning, or even if you're pre-T, if you feel like you're passing good enough and you want to, try to use the men's room, I say go for it. Just be very careful. Down south, we don't do that very much. Well, I don't do that very much because I don't feel safe enough doing that. But some days when I'm passing really well and I'm confident, after I've just gotten a new haircut, or if my binder is really fitting that day, I'll go into the men's room, or I'll go into like the family room, like the family bathroom. I do that a lot. But just do what you feel is safe for you, and you'll know when you're ready, I promise you. So this kid named Trevor asked me, is it okay to be out to my friends but not at work? And he said it was cooler for me to use his name. You know what? I'm out to my friends. I'm out to most of my family. But I'm not out at work. People still call me by my dead name. And, I'm not that dysphoric about my name. I'd love for people to call me Noah all the time because it just makes me so happy. But, my bosses and my managers and my coworkers, they call me by my dead name. No one really knows I'm not out, like that at work. But, do what you feel is comfortable. If you're not comfortable disclosing that to your job, then don't. You need to make sure that you're safe, regardless. Number 13. This is the 13th question that somebody asked me. They said, can I identify as FtM Trans if I'm non-binary but identify more on the masculine side? I'm not really sure about that one. I know a lot of non-binary people that identify as trans, or they get like on testosterone or whatever. I mean, yeah, I think that if you're non-binary and you identify more on the masculine side and you want to start hormones or you want to get top surgery, that's perfectly fine. You're valid. I mean, I'd have to talk to some of my non-binary friends and do some research and let you know more about that, because I'm not non-binary, so I don't know much about that. Another one of you guys asked me, how and where can I start testosterone? I know in some states and in some countries they have what's called informed consent. It's basically where you can go into a clinic and they basically give you this piece of paper and you read over it. And if you decide that that this is something that you need for your mental health, you can sign it, and that's basically your informed consent. And you can start testosterone within the week. And then I know in like the UK and like certain places like that, they have like free testosterone, like not free, but like you have to get on this waiting list and they can help you get on it. But I know some people that's been on it for 3 years, 4 years, and I know some people that's been on it for 3 months. It's touch and go with that. But here in the United States, you can either go to a therapist and they can prescribe you testosterone and diagnose you with gender dysphoria, which is what helps you get on testosterone at the doctor's office. I've seen people go into a therapy session and come out with a prescription, and I've seen people go in and not get a prescription or be diagnosed in 6 months to a year. It just depends on how much you guys cover in one session and how long you're willing to go. And if you're out front with them and just say like, hey, this is my main goal, is to just get on testosterone, that's the only reason I'm here, you're going to get on it quicker than if you were like, I'm unsure, la la la, and it's going to take a bit longer. But if you are unsure, go to therapy, figure it out, because you don't want to make the wrong decision and have to detransition, because that's a sad thing. And that leads me into my next question: can I detransition? if I feel like I'm not really trans. I mean, yes, detransitioning is a thing. You know, it's still valid. You know, if you decide that, hey, you know what, maybe that was a mistake. I don't want to say mistake, but maybe that wasn't, you know, maybe that wasn't rational of me to think that, or whatever. Whatever the case may be. You know, I've seen a few people detransition online. You know, I don't know them personally, but I've seen their experiences, and you know, to me, it's very sad. You know, it's probably one of the hardest things that somebody has to go through, and I feel for them. But yes, you can detransition. You know, the only thing I can say with like testosterone, your voice will stay deeper. You know, you will continue to grow hair and stuff, but as long as you shave, you know, you should be fine. But you know, a lot of people detransition. You know, a lot of people are very happy. It just depends on who you are. Okay, so this last, I don't really like talking about transitioning because it's really sad and it gets me in my feelings. So, next. Another person asked me, how can I deal with bottom slash top dysphoria? With bottom dysphoria, you know, there's a thing. Sorry, guys, I have a horrible stutter. There's this thing, it's called a packer. Most of you guys know what that is, but I mean, some of you guys don't know what that is. So, let me go into a little detail. Basically, what a packer is like a prosthetic penis, a prosthetic dick. Um, Basically, you know, you put it in your underwear to make it look like you have a penis. Um, you know, there are packers that you know, are just for the look, and then there are some like pack and plays where you can like penetrate your partner with it, you know, and use it for yourself or whatever. And then there are other packers where you can like an STP packer where you can stand to pee. You know, those are really cool, and I know they alleviate a lot of dysphoria. I do not have a packer, because I use a DIY packer, for most of the time. But I don't really have bottom dysphoria like most people, and a lot of trans men don't have, you know, bad bottom dysphoria. But I know some guys that, you know, they can't they can't leave their house without their packer or with something in their pants. How to alleviate top dysphoria? You know, binding. Like, you know, I know a lot of trans men that are, you know, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years on testosterone, and they just haven't been able to afford their top surgery yet. And, you know, they wear binders and they're cool with it. And then I know some trans men that don't even wear binders and they're perfectly fine with their breasts. But, I mean, their top. But, I mean, you know, that's all up to you. I bind. I don't bind all the time, but I bind, you know, 3 out of 6 days or 3 out of 7 days of the week. I probably bond, probably more than that. It just depends on how I'm feeling and how I feel like I'm passing or whatnot. But yeah, guys, just be safe when you're binding. You know, be safe and follow the guidelines. Um, you know, if you have doubts or questions, that's perfectly normal. You know, everybody has doubts. Everybody goes through phases where they think, am I right for this? Am I wrong for this? Whatever, yada yada yada. But I mean, just take your time. You'll know. Go to therapy. You know, talk to somebody. Talk to your friends. Talk to your family. You know, have a good support group, because I know that helped me a lot. But anyway, guys, that is pretty much a wrap for today's conversation. I'm gonna insert a quick little TikTok on how to put a binder on right now. Hope you guys enjoy it. Peace. This TikTok music was copyrighted, so I had to do a voiceover for that. Sorry, guys. I know my voice is annoying. Have a good night. Stay safe out there, you guys.